I got to tell you, I still got to see it. You still haven't won a major, and it's unfair. And I know this because, I mean, the man has 79 wins in his career. We all know this, and he's got 4 majors, and we know this too. It's just that I can't let go, Skip, of Tiger Woods talking to us about the majors, treating it as if that were all that mattered, talking about how second place stinks, and that's not the word he used, but we on FCC airwaves. And the list goes on and on. I can't get beyond that, but I did like what I saw. He was putting better. He was hitting the greens. I just saw him, and you know, he obviously was spectacular. I think it was day 2. You know, I mean, I just looked at him and I said, he shot a 61. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was special, and he was hitting everything. I mean, putts from 25 feet, 20 feet, 16, 18 feet, 24. I mean, he was all over the place. He was handling his business. I was very impressed, and I watched it. It's just that I'm of the mindset that he has to win a major. I think all it'll take is one. He wins one major in the near future. He's catching Jack Nicklaus. Yeah, okay. He's catching him. But to get that one, I don't understand. Like you called him the greatest front runner you've ever seen. When he's ahead, you're not coming back.
That's a compliment.
He's going to finish you off, but he doesn't play well from behind, obviously. I just look at him and I just say to myself, this is some spectacular stuff. You've won 5 tournaments this year. Nobody else has won. I mean, nobody's close to you right now. They can't touch you. But except for when it comes to the majors, he's got to get over that hump. But I do believe that, you know, things like this weekend, it gives me indication that he can get it done. He can ultimately catch Jack Nicklaus. But he's got to get 15 first, obviously.
I hear everything you just said. I watched all of it on Friday, a lot of it Saturday, all of it yesterday. I feel even less confident now about Tiger winning at Oak Hill in the PGA.
Why?
I can make a strong case that the worst thing Tiger Woods can do is win his last tournament before a major. Because I remind you that during his majors drought, which now reaches back 5 years and 2 months, think about that, 5 years and 2 months since the great Tiger Woods won his last major at that U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. In that stretch, Stephen A., 8 times he has won the tournament before a major, his last tournament before the major.
Yeah.
8 times. And I don't need to remind you, he is 0 for 7.
Yes.
And every one of those times, I've had to sit here time after time after time. Is this it? Is it over? Is he going to win this major? He's prohibitive favorite. And I always say, gee, I don't think so. And I've been milk toasty about it. Like, I don't think so. I'll believe it when I see it, kind of like you just were. Now I'm adamant. There is no way Tiger Woods wins the PGA. And I will paraphrase the old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 7 times, shame on me. I've been fooled too many times.
Is that the old saying? 7 times?
Look, you know what it is, twice. But this is 7 times, Stephen A. Yeah. We all have figured out, I hope, after the British Open, Tiger Woods can't putt at major championships. He has putting demons that he fights like crazy, especially on Saturday and Sunday at major championships. The British Open was begging to be won on Sunday by Tiger Woods, only 2 shots back of a Lee Westwood I figured would fall apart because he's never won a major. And as you know, Lee did fall apart, and Hunter Mahan fell apart. And finally, Phil Mickelson looked up at the board at the turn and said, well, if Tiger ain't going to win this, I think I should. And Tiger Woods went 3 over in his first 6 holes, as you know. And it was basically, and then Phil played one of the great back nines we have ever seen to close out
one of the greatest
major champ. It really was. So here's what happened at Bridgestone. Remember, he owns this tournament. He's won it 8 times. It's ridiculous how he will own tournaments. There's never been a golfer who gets so comfortable on a golf course the way this man does. He destroys the field. So on Friday, he was insanely hot with the putter. Now, this is Friday. There's still 2 rounds to go. And
wasn't hot Saturday.
He goes 9 under on the first 13 holes on Friday. That's impossible. No human in the world, including Mickelson, could have done that under those circumstances on that golf course the way Tiger can because he owns it. And as Graham McDowell said after playing with him the first 2 rounds of British, he is still the greatest iron player in the world. And I have no doubt about that. He can knock the flag down the way nobody can. And if the putter starts cooking the way it did there, he goes 9 under through 13. That's inhuman to me. Then what happened? I think he looked up at the board and thought, not only am I going to shoot 59, I might have a 57 in the bag here. And as you know, he parred the last 5 holes, and he was very fortunate to par 18 because he hit the driver in the trees. He still can't control his driver, and he had to scramble and make a 26-foot putt just for a par on 18.
But I'm at a loss, Skip, because I know he can't control his driver, but that happens to a lot of guys. Obviously, with the irons, he's spectacular.
Spectacular.
You just wonder how on earth can you not overcome putting? As much as you practice, as hard as you work, as skilled and as experienced and as tried and tested as you are as a 14-time majors champion, how is it that this one impediment is something you can't overcome?
Okay, I get what you're saying, but this is why I don't like to see him win this dramatically before. It only heaps pressure on the putter. He knows he's got a shaky putter, and now if you try to will the ball in the hole with the putter, try to aim it in the hole and just force it in the hole, you know what happens. It's like shooting free throws.
I was getting ready to bring that up. It's like the big man that dominates and you can't stop him until you send him to the free throw line.
And all of a sudden it gets to, he's human now. He is still human, as we saw post-scandal. So every Saturday, every Sunday, he goes out there thinking, this has got to be it. I got to do this. I got to do this. And all of a sudden, the putter gets a little shaky, and balls start lipping, and he starts misreading putts. And he's already gone last week to Oak Hill to play a practice round. And what did he do? He stepped right up in his first media session before the Bridgestone, and he complained about the greens at Oak Hill. He said they're spotty and they're too slow. To me, the demons are already gnawing at his psyche already. Or he's making excuses for himself, which I don't think he needs to do. But I think you could just see it working in his head. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't like these greens.
Well, let me ask you this, Skip. Educate me about this. Because, I mean, I've got more into golf in recent years.
Yes,
but back in the day, that wasn't the case, obviously. When Tiger was winning earlier on in his career, I understand he was front-running. I get that part. But what was his putting like then?
The greatest putter I've ever seen.
So, all right.
Really?
Beyond Nicklaus, beyond Crenshaw, beyond Bobby Locke.
I'm getting to a question.
Yes.
Yep. My question to you, because I need an answer from you. What happened? When did the change take place where the disintegration of his putting game
Post-scandal?
took place?
Post-scandal.
Post-Thanksgiving night of, what was that?
From that moment on.
No, I'm sorry, 2009.
So from that moment on. Now, as somebody who plays golf a lot, obviously I play very sparingly, but I will tell you this, even with my amateur novice self, I can tell you, never, ever do I find myself thinking on a golf course more than when I'm putting.
Interesting.
That's your problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you're saying, right? That's what you're saying, because that is you coming off tee. I mean, you smacking. That's one thing. Using your irons, your mid-range game, that's another. But when you get close to that hole and you're putting, that's when you're thinking most.
So you're saying that's Tiger's problem? He's thinking too much.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and the pressure on him is just staggering to finally break through. He's 0 for his last 17 majors, and he has already won 14, and the world had pretty much shooed him in that he would at least pass Jack Nicklaus. He would make some invincible, unbeatable record out of this. And now we're starting to wonder, will you ever even win the next one?
But do you realize what you're saying? What you're saying, Skip Bayless. I mean, this is almost blasphemous. What you're saying is that Tiger's winning all of these other tournaments because there's no pressure.
No pressure.
But the second that there is pressure, he's wilting beneath it. That's what you're saying.
Especially on Saturday and Sunday. He's fine on Friday and Saturday. He always, like he said, what's he got, all those top 10s in majors?
Sure.
But does he even come close on Saturday and Sunday? No.
So he's a favorite on Friday. Saturday and Sunday he can't get it done?
Well, he's
Thursday and Friday.
Prohibitive favorite.
Prohibitive favorite.